This episode is brought to you by FBP Today, the leading platform for finance business partnering insights and training. Visit fbptoday.com to learn more.
Don't wait for the permission to lead. Step into your value, speak up, and partner boldly. And that scenario is also in this book. It's in there.
Is the issue you want to highlight that today's accountants are making mistakes? Why they are not trying to become business partner? Why they are focusing on technical skills only? I was facing a big problem that how I can translate number into different insights so that they can understand.
I asked questions related to the business. So being strategic is you're not looking short term, you're looking long term. You're looking at things that the organization can drive the organization into success in the longer term. I was stepping into a new role, a new business, a new kind of business model, and a multinational organization. This book is majorly a mindset shift book. You need a mindset shift, the tools and the confidence to step up. You will need to prove yourself that you can do some things and you can do a lot.
Hello everyone, this is another exciting podcast. Today we have guest from Nigeria, Ayobami. Ayobami was working as an accountant, as a normal accountant. She promoted to the different role. Currently she is working as a financial performance lead in Sanofi. But in the last couple of weeks, I saw her progress very fast. And I also saw that she wrote a book, which is Finance Business Partnering, Strategic Finance Business Partnering. And I was thinking to bring her on my podcast, and she is with me today. Welcome to the podcast, Ayobami.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, Said.
So am I pronouncing your name correctly, Ayobami?
Yes, you are. Yes.
Yeah, because I was just thinking if I'm making something wrong. So how are you? Everything is good, Ayobami?
Yes, everything is good.
First of all, congratulations on your book. And
Thank you.
I did not get the book right now, but I am seeing a lot of noise about your book and a very good appreciation. I saw you have conducted event as well where you launched your book, and it was so proud moment for you and your family as well, I think.
Yes, very correct.
Yeah. So, Ayobami, before we jump into the book, I just wanted to tell us, the audience, about yourself, your journey. What are the challenges you are facing?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I started my finance career journey has been a very interesting one, and I started my professional exam with the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants while I was still studying for my undergraduate. As an undergraduate, I was in 200 level at that time. That's second year in school when I started my professional journey to become an ACCA certified, and I finished my ACCA professional exam I shortly after I graduated from school. But it's been an interesting journey for me because finance has been something that's always been part of my life, and I've been doing it for over a decade now. But the real shift happened when I moved into a business partnering role with Sanofi. So I started my career as an external auditor, and from there I moved to working with Dangote. Dangote is a big conglomerate business in Nigeria. And from there, I moved to Sanofi as a finance business partner. And, as a finance business partner, it's different from when I'm auditing. I need to support the business strategically, give them insights and support how they influence decisions, not just reporting numbers. That was not the main thing. It was like a shift of mindset for me. And, one funny thing was that when I started that role, I was also pregnant. I was in my first trimester, and that was my first pregnancy. So it was not an easy journey. If I had had a book or like a guide or something that would have made it easier for me to go through that journey, then it would have been interesting. So based on that experience I had, I just felt that, okay, going forward, let me create something that when people are transitioning into this, it can be easier for them to settle in. They wouldn't have to go through the struggles I went through as a first-time pregnant woman, and in the early stage of my pregnancy, and as a woman, they won't have to go through these struggles to be able to settle into any role in finance. I think that's like the major thing for me.
Okay. So your family was supporting you at that time?
Yes, I had family support. Yes, because when I first switched into the role, because a lot of people didn't know I was pregnant then because it was still very early. I'm sure if they had known, people like external people, my friends, if they knew, they would have discouraged me because it was I was stepping into a new territory, kind of. I was stepping into a new role, a new business, a new kind of business model, and a multinational organization. So it was like different shifts that I was moving into. So, I had my family. My mom was always there to support me. My husband, my spouse, is someone that encourages me all the time. And he tells me that you can do it. Because I was there, I was contemplating, should I go for this? Because I was already doing well in my current role and they already knew my capability. But this, when you get into a new organization, you will need to prove yourself that you can do some things and you can do a lot. So I was doubting that will I be able to prove myself to this new organization? Will I be able to settle in? And considering the fact that this was my first time of being a pregnant person, I had never been pregnant before. So, but I just like my husband encouraged me a lot. So I just like, okay, said, okay, worst case scenario. I actually gave myself a timeline that worst case scenario, they won't send me away being pregnant. I will stay with them till I deliver a baby. Because I know most nationals, they have good policies for their employees. So worst case scenario, I would deliver my baby. I would go on my maternity leave and come back. Maybe when I come back, you can tell me, thank you, it was nice doing business with you. I gave myself like a 1 year gap to do it. But the second year of being with them, I had the opportunity of being one of the top performers with the organization. I was a top performer. That was after I got back
Wow.
from my maternity leave. The same year I got back from my maternity leave and was looking after a newborn. I was I was a top performer in the organization. So I just like, okay, yeah, there was something I was doing right. So I just felt that, okay, that gave me the opportunity and the experience to be able to like write something to people that are stepping into these shoes, basically.
So, is there anyone in your family or circle in the finance, or you are the only one who took this initiative to join finance department?
Oh no, so my cousin and my uncle, they're into finance. So I kind of, and I was close to my cousin, so I kind of saw how she progressed as a finance professional. So that was part of it. And my dad actually wanted to be a finance person, but
Oh,
because at that time, um things were not really going on well for him. So he needed to take up a job that could also pay him while he was studying and learning. So he
hmm.
took up nursing then. So that helped him settle in. So when he heard I wanted to become a finance professional, he supported me all the way. And like I told you earlier on, I started my ACCA professional exams when I was in my second year in the university. And he was the one that told me that. He just came to me and I was like, oh, Ayobami, I want you to start your professional exam now that you're still in school. And I was like, oh no, that I don't want to start this exam now. That I don't want to do ICANN because there's an exam in Nigeria that you do. I said I don't want to do ICANN, I want to do ACCA. And ACCA you pay in pounds. I said no problem, I'll support you.
Hmm.
And that was how the journey started. So, it was like a very great support. And my mom too was there to shape me into being able to speak up because I used to hide in my shell. I didn't really used to speak up. I didn't really used to come out to talk and all. So what she did for me was she had a kind of a little store where she sells daily needs and she just puts me there to interact with customers. And that was how I was able to build some level of confidence to be able to speak with confidence to people, basically. So I think my family have always been there to support me.
So when you started ACC and you are paying your fees in pounds, your family was financially strong, or you were struggling on that time?
No, my family I wasn't paying anything. My family was paying
Oh,
everything. My parents, yeah, they were the one that
you're
paid everything. Yes.
very good. So good journey. Starting is good, and I just moved to before I moved to the books part, and Nigeria is the country where we have lot of problems, right? And in these problems, you came out with different person, and you started a book as well. So, what are the challenges you face in terms of your country environment and atmosphere and issues, challenges? Is there something that you face that make your life was difficult and you face it and you clear it?
Well, okay, so Nigeria right now is going through a lot. And I think the whole global worldwide economy is going through a lot
Yeah.
right now. There's been a lot of
Yeah.
economic issues everywhere in the world. So, and a lot of people are adjusting, adapting, and trying to. And one of the major things that actually happened in Nigeria was the price of a fuel pump. It moved by like 500% kind of, and that was a big shift. It made every other thing, because most of the things are being transported and moved from one place to other. It made the cost of every other thing to go up also. But hey, how am I surviving? Like it happens in other parts of the economy, also in other parts of the world. Everybody tries to adjust. You look at the most important things for you to do and do them. You prioritize whatever you need, and you go for the most important things. So that's the way I'm surviving. And as Nigeria is that it has challenges, it is still one of the I see it's a creators economy kind of. You see, you have a lot of creators in Nigeria. You have a lot of collaborations coming out from Nigeria. You have a lot of opportunities, and there are a lot of organizations that are still coming into the country to try to establish and gain new grounds, because the economy is actually it's still a growing economy, but there are a lot of untapped potential and opportunities in the country.
Okay, so let's get back to the book. I did not read your book, but I have hear a lot of appreciation on this book, and that was exciting me to bring you in the podcast. And just tell your journey. What was the motivation behind this book, and why you took this decision?
Yeah, so the major motivation behind writing this book is I've seen a lot of finance professionals, they've struggled with transitioning, from technical experts to strategic partners. A lot of finance professionals are just comfortable being the number crunchers, just give us the reports, deliver the reports, nothing extra. And there are so many untapped leaders in finance who just need the right mindset shift. So this book is majorly a mindset shift book. They need the mindset shift, the tools, and the confidence to step up, you know. So this book is something, like I told you earlier, it's something I wish I had earlier in my career, because it would have helped me move faster than I've done. But I'm still grateful for where I am right now. So we have a lot of finance leaders that are just comfortable staying with the numbers, comfortable just doing their thing. Let me just provide my report at the end of the month and send and all. But finance is evolving. AI has come and has come to stay. A lot of things that we do that used to be routine, AI can actually do them for us. Why we think about the strategic things, how to support. But one thing AI can do, they can't think like humans. They can't give strategic insights like humans. So we still have that gap. So we need to step up from being the number people to be giving strategic driven decisions. So that's one of the major reasons why I wrote the book.
So in this book, where are you focusing? You're focusing on mindset, or there are many things: business partnering, relationship building, trust management,
Yes.
networking, your communication, presentation. So is this book focus on which area you are focusing mainly here?
So the book consists of 11 chapters, and it covers everything you need to move from building business acumen to communication and storytelling, leveraging AI tools and technological and AI tools, also communication and influencing skills, how to drive decision making, navigating challenges. So there are a lot of topics in the book,
Okay.
that could help. Yes, not just one, basically.
So how you are driving this kind of topics? You are giving some real world example, or is something? Just tell me. I want to understand, because I'm very excited to have this book. And before
Yes.
I buy, and maybe I can encourage other people to, they can should buy this book. You will tell us later on what is the process to buy the book. But how you are driving your discussion in the book? It's a practical scenarios or examples.
Yeah, there are practical tips, there are scenarios, there are examples, everything is in the book. And I also put an example from my own real world experience where I joined an organization. And at the beginning of my journey with that organization, I needed to go on a tour kind of. So I went to the factory, the manufacturing factory, and I also went to the markets, also like an open market where we sell the goods, to understand how the business operates, to have an overview of the nation. And that's what they do to every of their new employee. Either you are in finance, you are in sales, you are in marketing, no matter the department you come into, you are going to go through that process. So in the process of me doing that, when I went to the manufacturing sites, I observed that a particular machinery wasn't working. And I asked questions from the manufacturing manager that why is this machinery? Because that machinery seems to be like one of the easiest, like in packaging our end products. It was one of the easiest and fastest to give us our end products, to turn around our end products. So I was asking, and I asked that why was this machinery not working? And the man told me that they had a lot of stock in hand for that good. They were holding like 4 times the amount of stock you're supposed to hold normally. So they can't continue producing that same product. So I just said, okay, so I gave suggestions of other opportunities where they could actually, how they could distribute the products and also have it get to the end user so that they could deplete the stock they have and the machine can continue working. So when I went for the market visit to interact with our customers and the people in the market that buy our products and sell to the end user, when I got there, the only complaint I got from them was that particular product that was sitting in our warehouse, that the machinery had stopped working in the factory because they felt they had too much stock. They didn't have that product in the market. And for me, I saw that that was a big gap because
Mm.
number one, you stopped machinery from working. You are losing man hours on the machinery. You are holding a lot of stock that is more than what you're supposed to hold normally. And everybody in the market is saying they actually need this particular product. If one particular woman told me that this is the only product that our customers that have come today to ask her, I've been asking her about. So what I did was when I got back, because I was still very new, when I got back to the organization, I reached out to one of my colleagues and asked the person that, who can I told the person, I narrated the situation to the person, tell who can I speak to that can take action immediately on this thing and so that we can get everything working fast. So he introduced me to the marketing director. So I went to the marketing director. I told the marketing director about this challenge we were having. And she took action immediately, and they had to they had to start a project on distribution and visibility for that particular product in the market. And the machinery started working because I went back and I went to check if those products were still. I didn't have to do that, as a finance person. It's not when I get my job description as a finance person, that is not part of my job description. But because of what I know, I'm not just there to just sit with the finance. I'm supposed to also support the organization to grow. And if I see any gap, I should be able to speak about it, find solutions to it, and ensure that the solutions have been implemented and operations are going on as they should be. So I was able to step, and that scenario is also in this book. It's in there.
Wow.
So I think,
Wow.
yes.
Wow, this is amazing story, and this is something you left your comfort zone, you jump into other areas, and you learn business language. And this is so difficult that if you are talking to the business, they will think you are accountant. Why you are coming here? You don't know what is happening here. But you break that boundary, and you went in this area, and you learned their language, and that
Correct.
is the game changing for your career as well. So this is amazing, by the way. So uh, normally finance people are very dry people, they are sitting back office, they know only debit credit, they know balance sheet, income statement, trial balance, and that's it. And when you jump into business, believe me, this is a different game. It's actually an enjoyable area where you enjoy everything and you are connecting pieces. You understand your inventory, you understand your market, you understand your customer. Then you brought some kind of conclusion to the management. Management also start thinking that you are creating value. And that is a really true business partner in the company.
True. Very true.
Yeah, that is very interesting. So what do you mean by, if I ask you one sentence, what is strategic business partner?
Yes. So, we have tactical, we have strategy, basically. So being strategic is you're not looking short term, you're looking long term. You're looking at things that the organization can drive the organization into success in the longer term. Let me just give you an example now. If there is an opportunity to increase prices right now for an organization or for a product, I want to increase the price. How do you look at the price increase? You look at the price increase in a short term, or do you look at it on the long term of how it would have a longer term impact on the organization? So strategy is a long term decision. It's not just for now, and that is why I also titled this book "Strategic Finance Business Partner," because it's not something that you just do for today and you just drop it. It's something that you do that you continue to do for the longer term. That is the thing. So you have to think about things now and also think about how it would have a longer term impact in the future, basically. And also the last chapter of this book talks about the future of finance business partnering, you know. And as Alvin Toffler said the literature of the 21st century won't be those who can't read and write, but those who can't learn, unlearn, and relearn, basically. So I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So what was the challenges you faced? I know that today's world, everybody is online, right? They're writing ebooks, they're going to YouTube, they are going to Facebook, they are going to LinkedIn to learn something. And this is so much courage you had that you started writing a book. And people have low habit to read a book.
Hmm.
So, what was the inspiration behind this book writing, that maybe you have fear who will read this book? But why did you select writing a book instead of maybe ebook or article, something like this?
So on LinkedIn already, I write articles, and I also write articles on Business Day in Nigeria, where it's published and all. But I just felt that, when you go to LinkedIn, if I've posted something since last year, you might not be able to like go down to that post to see what I posted or what I wrote about. But when you have a book, you have all the information in a piece, in a copy. You can always refer back to it anytime. You can
Yeah,
always go
definitely.
back to Yes, you can always go back to it. And not that the book is not a big book. You look at it, it's really small. I know that
How many
finance professionals,
how many pages we have in this book?
it's a total the total book is 123 pages, but the total
Okay.
chapters is 100 pages exactly. So it's easy to read, fast, practical. The wordings are it's really wide. I don't know if you can see well.
Yeah,
It
yeah, I
has
can see.
different, and it's bolded in some places. It's not it's something that if you pick up, you can just go through it quickly, and it's straight to the point. It does not have any fluffs, any jargons that is not needed. Just straight to the point for you to like get the important information fast and immediately, basically.
And how people can buy this book?
So I have a link. It's on Sailor. So for people that are in Nigeria, they can get the physical copy, but people that are outside of Nigeria, they can only get the e-copy of the book, basically.
Okay,
It's
so
on Sailor.com.
e-copy is
Yes.
available.
Yes, e-copy is available.
So
Yes.
you can share me the link so I can put in my description. So even
Okay.
anybody can want to buy it, they can go to link and they can register for the book.
Yes, I'll share you the link so that they can
Okay.
easily get the book if they want it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one more question. You started your career as an accountant. Now today you are working as a business partner. So
Yes.
how did you manage this transition? Because it's so difficult for you to start as an accountant, because accountant means somebody else. They are bookkeeping and everything. And today in few years you reach to business partnering. So what is the change you found in your career? Did you find any mentor or somebody guided you? What was that journey?
Yeah, so when I switched to so one of the things that actually encouraged me was when I was working in an organization, I noticed that the CFO used to be more interested in the management accountants who were like the business partners more than me, the financial accountant. So I got interested in going into that part of the business because for the person, the only time he comes to us then was maybe like when the external auditors were around. So I felt that okay, these people that are always like is always going through, they're always having meetings, discussions, they must be doing something different. So when the opportunity came to take on that kind of role, I jumped at it. I didn't know what was involved. Like I told you earlier on, I didn't know what was involved. I didn't know what I had to do. I didn't know much about it. But I'm someone that, for me, um, every opportunity I get, I try to maximize it, basically. So if I have an opportunity, I jump at it and I try to get all the advantages. Yes. And I'm someone that will tell you yes, even when I'm not sure of what to do. Then I try to find out how to figure it out later and how to do it later. When you came to me, I was like, oh, will you come on this podcast? I said yes. It was just yesterday I was asking, okay, what do you expect from me from this podcast? So I'm sure I will tell you yes first and figure out how to do it. So when I got the opportunity to become a finance business partner, I said yes to it first. Then I started looking for solutions on how to.
Good.
I spoke to people within my circle, people that I know that they could be influential for me, people that have started walking the path. And the person that wrote the forward of this book, her name is Adebola Idowu. She actually was a very, very good what's it called? She was very, very supportive with me to guide me at the beginning of my journey. Because she had walked this path. She was a mom. She has her own children, and at some point, I was struggling with having a child and trying to settle into this role. But she was there to hold my hands and guide me and advise me. She said, "Oh, Ayobami, you need a friend." I told her to be my mentor. She said, I don't need a mentor. She said, you need a friend. Just come to me whenever you need to speak to me, and I'll be there to answer you. And she was there, and she's still there to today. I still spoke to her this morning. She's always been a fantastic person. So if you have people in your corner that will hold your hands high, and always celebrate with you, hold tight to them, never leave them. That was one of the things that helped me move quickly from being an accountant to a finance business partner. And another thing is business acumen. Trying to understand the organization is a very, very important skill that you
Yeah.
need as an accountant, as a business partner. Business acumen. You need to understand the business language. You need to understand the business. You need to understand what's going on in the business. So when I got in, I first tried to understand what was happening in the organization, because this was my first time in the pharmaceutical organization. I'd never worked with a pharmaceutical organization before. So it was my first time in the industry. I was trying to understand. I remember at some point I used to go with the sales team to the field to see how they interact with the doctors, how they interact with the pharmacists at the pharmacies. I did a lot actually. I step out of my comfort zone. I just don't sit in the office and just try to look at, okay, let me look at the numbers, the sales is this. No, I step out. I ask questions. I do discussions. I try to learn from people that are doing this thing, understand what issues they're facing, understand how I can support them as a business partner. And that helped me also to gain their trust, because when I tell them, okay, when are you going to the field? I'm going with you. You leave your own work and you support somebody else's business or somebody else's work, they will trust you. They will come back to you. Even when you ask one question, they will give you 100 answers, because they know that you are there to support them. You are there with them. You understand what they are going through. You're not just sitting down and giving rules, making opinions based on what you think is happening. But because I go out, I see what happens, I see how we interact, I see how everything happens, it is easier for me to have a conversation with them. So those are part of the things that help me settle in easily.
But that was not easy, when your accountant going to business team to help them. They don't accept you in the beginning. And you have to build that trust, you have to build relationships. So
Yes.
they typically understand you as an accountant. So how that barrier you break? You know,
Oh,
when you
so
this is the point here. You did everything, I know, but this is the outcome. But what was the process?
yeah, so the process was like you said, they have to trust you basically. So for me, I'm a very friendly person. And
Okay.
in me checking on you, I won't just check on you with the work. I try to like build relationship first. And it's also part of the things I put in the book. You have to build relationship, build credibility, let people trust you. When people see and hear what it, and when we have, and one thing we do is we used to have like meetings in the organization where everybody comes together. So
Hmm.
I don't, when I go to that meeting, I ask questions. And I ask questions, and when you ask questions, people will be wondering, who is this person that is asking the kind of, and I don't ask questions related to finance. I ask questions related to the business. So when I sit at those meetings and I ask those questions, they try to look at, who is this person asking this question? So they want to know who I am based on that, based on me speaking out at those meetings or those places. They want to know who I am. And when I walk up to them and I say, oh, I'm this person, I'm this person. So what I try to do, I try to build individual relationship. I don't build group relationship. I talk to each person and try to, it's not easy to talk to everybody, you understand? But you look at your major key stakeholders, you build a very good relationship with them, have discussions with them, have conversation with them before you even need anything from them. Ask them, in what way can I support you to make your work easier or your life easier?
Hmm.
That way, when you go to them for help or you need support, they are not just coming across that it is only when you need help and support that you come to them. But you come across to them as, okay, yes, this person has always been there to help me and support me. And now that this person needs my support, I'm going to be there. And most times when I go to them, they are always willing. They have their arms open to accept me, because I've built a kind of relationship with them. So one of the key things that has helped me is I've built relationship with them before needing their help.
And even one thing is important here, which is intention. If you have the right intention to become business partner, you will do the right processes or right actions. Intention is very important. If you are meeting with sales team, if you're meeting with marketing, what is the intention you have behind? Are
Okay.
you going to present them number or you are going to learn from them? So there are two different approach, right? I know everything because I'm finance, but there is a room for improvement that you are going for them and asking relevant questions so that you will understand business language. And the main challenge is not to present number, is to present numbers to the non-finance people. It's very big challenge. This challenge, I was facing a big problem that how I can translate number into different insights so that they can understand. If I'm going with tax terminology, if I'm going with IFRS, I'm going for trial balance, income statement, they will not understand. They will ask me, what is my business going on? What is the problem? Tell me the guideline. Give me forecast. Give me budget. Where I can improve. Where are the gaps in the business? This is the point they always highlight. They will ask me, what is my business going on? What is the problem? Tell me the guideline. Give me forecast. Give me budget. Where I can improve. Where are the gaps in the business? This is the point they always highlight. And finance team should have this ability to make them understand these kind of insights. And I think you did well, by the way, on the process you were telling me. You manage everything, and your company will be very happy with you now.
Yes, although I'm no longer with Sanofi. I stopped working with them sometimes last year. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's very good discussion, by the way. And what are the biggest challenges when you are transitioning into business partnering role? Because accounting knowledge cannot be an issue because you already have done your ACCA. The only thing is your soft skills, right? And
Yes.
that is a biggest barrier to become a business partner. So
Yes, soft
did you
skills.
have you taken any training or you did by yourself? How did you manage these process?
So, I think at the beginning, I told you about my mom helping me to communicate with people by putting me in a store to interact with people. So that I'd already built some of those skills based on what I'd learned from my family, basically. I've built some of those skills. So getting into the workplace, it was just like, it was way easier for me to like start the communication. One thing that we need as accountants when we are communicating to non-finance people, either accountants, business partners, or finance professionals, when we are communicating to business people, we need to simplify our communication. We can't be using the technical jargons we use. You can't go to a business person and tell the person that IFRS 10 states that or IFRS 5 states that. They'll tell you what is even what's IFRS in the first place. So you have to like say it in a way they can easily understand it. You need to be able to communicate to them in the way they can easily understand. And that's one of the things. So when I go to them, I first like I start my discussion with them on a friendly tone, ask them how they are doing first. And after that, I ask them, okay, how is the business? How are we doing things? How are we going? If it's during in the middle of the month, how are we working towards meeting up with the sales target for this month? Start from a softer stuff, then you start communicating with them. I know when I was doing when I used to like really be in charge of advertising and promotional expenses for pharmaceutical industry, one of the things is there is usually like a very, very like high budget for that particular um expense. And what I do is I try to understand the activities they are doing. I try to understand what are these things. I ask them questions. I sit with them. In fact, at some point we sit together to do the budget, to work on the budget together. Because if you leave them alone to give you the budget, you won't have the finances. You won't
Yeah.
have what to finance the budget with. So I sit with them, understand each of the. In fact, at some point I knew almost all the pharmaceutical associations we have in Nigeria. I knew them because of the way I sit with them and I understand. And even when it's time for the program, I say, "Oh, when are you going for this program?" Because I know what it is and I know when it is in the budget. Are you already working towards it? Are you preparing to? So it gives people like you're not just there to just like jump at them when they do something or something. You are there to support them. They feel that you are there. You are in it with them. You are always there to listen to them. You're always there to support them. You're always there to hear them when they have something to say. And I ask them, when I meet with them, I'll ask them, "Oh, how is this program going on? It's in 2 weeks' time. When are we?" Because they put the dates of those programs in and they put all those things. So I just don't get the document and keep somewhere. I go through them to know when they are doing this program. So ask them about it and ask them, "Oh, hope you are not canceling this thing." And it also helps me as a finance professional because I know when I would have cost saving before it even comes. I know when a program is not holding before they tell me that it did not hold, they canceled it. Do you understand? Or something. It gives me like it gives me a step ahead to be able to understand this thing. And that's what we're supposed to do as business partners. Not and one thing about accountants is for us, accountants, we report what has happened. But business partners, you have to be proactive, not reactive. Accountants are reactive, business partners are proactive. You try to know things before they happen. So these were some of the things I did that actually helped me to be successful.
Actually, there is two way. One for through the information or create the insight to drive the business decision because you are helping them for their right
Yeah.
decision making. It's not about that you throw the number and let them decide what is the decision. So you also have to help them. What is the decision you should take with this situation? What is the forecast you have? What was the budget you have? And how you are going to land by the end of this year? So you have to take these kind of measures. These kind of things, I think that. And one thing I just need to know because we are just ending time. What is the issue you want to highlight that today's accountant are making mistakes? Why they are not trying to become business partner? Why they are focusing on technical skills only?
Hmm. So for me, I think a lot of people are comfortable in their comfort zone. So to make a shift or to move, most times you need to learn some things. You need to learn some new skills. You learn the soft skills, you learn the technical skills to become a business partner. You learn both. And for some people, they're just comfortable doing what they're doing. So that's one of the reasons why they are not willing to shift. But that's why we are here. And I know you do a lot around that too, business partnering. That's why we are here to tell them why they need to shift. Because if they don't shift, AI might shift them. So we need to like keep speaking within our platforms anywhere we can, anywhere we have the opportunity to let these people know we need to make this move, make these shifts. We need to tell them to make this shift, because if they don't do it now, what will take it away from them is coming. Because a lot of if you look at it, a lot of automations are happening, a lot of job losses are happening. So we need to like keep speaking this thing. But if a business partner would always be needed, because all those things AI can do. You can't
Ah,
AI can't come to support. Yes, they can't come and start supporting you in making decisions. You're still the human person that will make the decisions. So we need to start like speaking any opportunity we have. We need to start telling people to start moving their mindset, start trying to leave their comfort zones, start trying to learn new soft skills and business partnering skills, basically.
good. So, in last, any message you want to bring from your book that can be a changing moment for this podcast?
Yeah, so for me, for my book, the major thing is for people to stop being a number cruncher. So you're more than just a number cruncher. You are a strategist. Don't wait for the permission to lead. Step into your value, speak up, and partner boldly. The future of finance is not in the back office, it's at the strategy table.
Very good. Thank you so much, Ayobami, for this podcast. And there's a great podcast, I think. And you are the person who can inspire many people, many women especially, within your town and globally as well. So I wish you all the best for success of your book. And you are part of our community, which is Mecca CFO community. And we are so proud of you that you are making such kind of decision and action in your life that is making our community more stronger. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much for having me on the podcast.